Oops, guess I could take this off. See your smiley faces. Great. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna call the HRA Board meeting, authority meeting to order at 9:04. Approval of minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Second motion.
Okay, motion moves forward. I'd like to take this opportunity, of course, to welcome everyone to our meeting today. I'd like to also share with you that our meetings are, when we change our meeting hours, we are to post them on the public site, the Ely website, and that's a statute, a state statute. And I didn't know that, I just learned that too, so I would have been able to mention it. But anytime in the future, there has to be a 3-day notice. Okay, then I'd like to bring up to the community that as a board member, and we are all, I'm talking about the whole board, if there are any concerns, and I'm getting calls personally, that if there are any concerns, we have directed, you know, that we have made it known from the board that our director is to be talked to first. And if there isn't a resolve, then bring it to the public meeting, bring it to the board. I think that remedies a lot of confusion. And I know, you know, there are tenants that, you know, have concerns and they think that they can call each one of us privately. I'll listen to those concerns, but I always direct them back to our director and or come to the board meetings and let us know. So with that little bit of knowledge, I think we're ready to go. So, approval, are there any additions or omissions? On which one? On the minutes? Okay, thank you. Is there, let's vote on the minutes to accept them.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion moves forward. Director's report.
All right, do we want to approve the bills first?
Yeah. Okay. Did everyone go through the bills?
I move to accept.
I'll second the motion.
Any opposed? No, the motion moves forward. Now we can go on to the director's report.
All right, so yeah, Pioneer, we have one current vacancy, we just offered the apartment this morning, so we'll see where that goes. Zenith is full, Vermillion Homes is our, so we have the insurance, claim is attached, 427, and then, 405, 419, we are just cleaning and gonna turn over. 425 is a plumbing issue. We got a $6,100 estimate from Rusco to jackhammer the concrete out, to figure out what the drain issue is. We can move forward with that if that is what we would like to do. Otherwise it just sits vacant until we can figure that out. 411, I'm working to contact a couple contractors to remove the mold that's in there, and move forward with that. I'm also waiting to hear back, that's one of them that I walked through with the architect. And they were looking at maybe putting that on our 5-year plan, where we just completely renovate, add ventilation, add everything. Instead of doing all the Vermillion homes at once, just doing like a couple each year. So I'm waiting to see what their estimate comes back as, is what that would look like. And then we'll go from there. And then 429 needs new flooring throughout the whole thing. That one is an estimate of $7,000. And then I just need to know if that's something that we wanna move forward. That's just the flooring, the sheetrock, the painting and the cleaning will be done by our staff. So it's just the flooring throughout the whole apartment. And the reason that looks like that is cause it is a 3-bedroom, so it's 3 bedrooms. The living room, the hallway would need carpet, and then the bathroom and the kitchen need new laminate.
Do you wanna take these one at a time, or you just wanna do them together?
That's up to you guys. I'm
That's fine.
Okay.
Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
I have a question.
Okay, let's hear it.
Does that have to do, anything to do, does this motion have anything to do with 407 and 409, the water drainage?
No. But we can put it in there if you would like us to.
No, I don't want to put it.
Okay.
So then I'll say aye.
Okay. That's just the interior for 429 and 425. And I'll move ahead with those. I have a meeting with BJ this afternoon from Rusco, so we'll get a plan in place to when he can get to 425. There's a low spot in the parking lot between 407 and 409. 407 doesn't currently have a vehicle, so 409's been parking in 407 spot. The problem is 407's getting a car. So 409's parking spot is usually a mud puddle. So we need to figure out that.
Do you have any suggestions? Fill it with class 5 for now?
Yeah, we could fill it with class 5 for now and level it and try to drain it into the grass instead of into the driveway.
Pretty tough to start putting asphalt
Oh,
on
yeah.
now.
Okay,
So
I
that's
can
our
look-
red.
Well, how did it happen in the first place? Has it always been that way?
always been that way.
It looks kind of like the design of how it is, it's just like a lower spot where the grass has no firm boundary, so it seems to create mud when it rains to go into there.
Okay. I will look into that.
Do you want a motion for that too, or?
Yes,
Or do we approve it?
and make a separate motion.
A separate? Is there a,
Well, what's the motion gonna be?
to do the parking lot?
For the class 5.
The class 5 gravel option.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
Support.
Opposed? Motion moves forward. So,
Okay, that gets us through the Vermillion homes.
that's a
Well,
lot.
On old, what about the deal with the city and taking care of that drain that they gotta come once a week?
The architect was going to get a hold of the city and look into it based upon the plans that they have on file and see where it goes, what the problem is, and they were gonna talk to Harold about it.
So then that would end up being the city's responsibility?
Depending, yeah,
Depending on where it is.
yep, depending on where it is and what they find.
Okay.
Stay on them.
To me, it's like it's dragging out forever.
I'll check with Harold
Okay.
today. Okay, Sibley?
Sibley is full, townhomes is full with a wait list of 56 after we redid the wait list. And then
How did that go?
the wait list,
Mhm.
it went okay. Yeah, I mean, there was some pushback on all sides, but it's a lot cleaner now than what it was, which is nice.
If a 1-bedroom comes up,
Yes,
and then you go down the list, and the second person wants a 2-bedroom, does that person that wants the 2-bedroom go to the bottom of the list and come back up, or just?
so they get whatever becomes available is what they get offered to them. And then if they refuse it, then yes, they go to the bottom of the list. They can take it, and then, like, if they want a 2-bedroom and they're in a 1-bedroom, when that 2-bedroom becomes available, they can transfer to that. So they can, so it could just be a temporary thing. The problem is like, we had the first, like, 6 or 7 on the list that had refused 2 or 3 times. So every time something came open, we had to reoffer it to everybody on the top 6 or 7, and they were just holding those spots until they were ready. which made it more difficult for everybody else to get in. So we switched it up as to how it was gonna be done.
And how many two-bedrooms?
We have 22 bedrooms and 6 one-bedrooms. Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Mhm. Okay, it's okay if I just do all my talking, and then we'll come back to the committee reports. So, we'll jump to unfinished business. Lency, well, they thought they were finished, they're not. We had a heating issue in one of the apartments last week, and we found out that they have put the trim, they actually cut the trim to fit tight to the top of all the heaters. So we can't get the heaters off to access any of the plumbing for the heat. So I emailed the architect, Jimmy from Lency came over and assisted, otherwise we have to pull all the trim off of all the windows, except for the top piece, because the corners also touch. If we had to get into anybody's heat, then we'd have to pull all the trim off the windows every time. So they're working to fix that problem. So they are, unfortunately not finished. So we're waiting to see when they're gonna come in. They're just gonna have to rip all the trim and then refinish it, repaint
Might
it.
have to rent them an apartment. Get it
So,
done.
yes. And then after that gets done, then we just have to do the final walkthrough with the architect, and then we can sign off on it.
So in every single apartment they have to?
We have to go through and figure out, so I need to go into every apartment. And we did not discover this until after we were in every apartment doing smoke detectors. Otherwise, we could have did it at the same time, but it was the next day. So, we have to go back through everybody's apartment, figure out touches the radiators, cause it does in our office as well. So, we'll go through, figure it all out, give them a list of the apartments, and then go from there.
Thumbs up.
So, and then we are just waiting for the doors, the handicap accessible doors, mechanical parts to come in, and then Mara will put them in at Sibley, and we'll have both of them up and running. Originally he said like 2 to 4 weeks is the wait time to get the parts in, so I would assume we'll hear from him shortly, and we can get those in. The comment period for the budget ends on the 22nd. The water heaters at Zenith and Pioneer, we need to get an electrician in to put them on separate circuits, because right now they're on the same circuit. So if any power surge or anything, it fries both of the water heaters at the same time, which we figured out in Zenith not that long ago. So they are now, Sibley, so Sibley is now on separate circuits for that reason. So we just need to do it in the other 2 buildings. The smoke detector policy addendum has been signed, and we went through. We did install smoke detectors in every bedroom. They weren't in every bedroom, they were just in the living room areas, so we did install in every bedroom as well. So every apartment has a minimum of 2 smoke detectors now.
Are they tamper-free?
The battery operated ones that we put in the bedrooms are tamper-free.
Okay,
Yep.
good.
Yep.
So people just don't take,
Right,
to
yep, and that was
disconnect.
specifically written in the addendum, that if they remove the batteries or whatever, then it'll be a violation of their lease, which can lead to termination of their lease. We do have, we did put internet in the community room at Sibley, and that is just like this community room. So there will be, they have a computer already in there, and then, they have a smart TV that we'll put the credentials in. Nobody else will have access to any of the credentials except for me and Kristen. But then that way they can watch football games or whatever they choose to do to actually use their community room. Otherwise, their community room is sitting, not used. We're gonna continue to look for the furniture for the Sibley common rooms. The bid for the plowing that we had tabled for this meeting, it was $5 more this year than what he had bid last year. And then I think I put on there, so anything over $4.50, the price will increase per gallon. So that one, we just need to decide if we're gonna approve that or not for the town.
I'll make that motion. to
Support.
approve
It's okay, is there a second?
I'll second
All in
motion.
favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion moves forward.
You want a motion for that water heater too, to get that done, or you just gonna do those water heaters separate?
I was just gonna do it, but if you wanna make a motion, you can.
What do you think?
Why not?
I'll make that motion also.
Should be done.
Support.
Is there
Aye.
a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion moves forward.
And I do, that's been our biggest issue, is getting an electrician, to actually show up. So I do have a meeting with Brown Electric here right after Thanksgiving, after deer season. And they're gonna come through and I'll walk through the buildings and stuff with them and kinda get an idea. So that, it's nice because we have BJ on the plumbing side of things, or whenever I need something, he drops everything and we're a priority, which is super nice. And an electrician, we've really struggled. So Brown's gonna come and do a walkthrough with us and have an idea, and hopefully we can get somebody like that to, cause we have a list of electrical stuff that we need looked at. So I'm hoping that that relationship will actually work out and they'll be reliable. And then a boiler contract with Jamar. I have that as also an attachment. So this year, it was brought to our attention when we went to start the boilers, that they were actually shut down in the spring because they weren't working properly in Pioneer. But that was not mentioned to us until we went to fire them back up. So we actually had Jamar here a lot, trying to figure out what was going on, and the pump that was put in July by Jamar was not installed properly, so that was one of the problems. We have another pump that is going, and so Jake Vanderbeek wrote up that estimate that's in the packet, that where they would come in and start our boilers every fall, and then they would shut them down and service them every summer, so that when it's startup plan, it should eliminate the issues. It sounds like in the past, Jamar's done some of the work, Superior Fuel's done some of the work, BJ's done some of the work, our guys have done some of the work, so there's been a lot of hands in the heating system, so not everything is how it should be or how one person thinks. So we wanted to try to mainstream it with one group of hands being in there. And hopefully avoid some of these emergency call-outs that we have to do with Jamar.
So if there were emergency calls,
Jamar would
Contact
still
them and
come,
they'd come.
yep, and they would still come,
I
yep,
like that.
And the pump was put in backward, Jamar took care of that,
yep,
no cost?
no.
I can't find it, what's the yearly fee for that?
It's every contract here.
It's
Yeah.
broke down,
700, I think, for 2 buildings and 6, I think Zenith is 7,000 something.
yeah, because Zenith has
Yeah.
6 small boilers, and each of the other buildings have 2 bigger boilers, so
barely
that's
see
why
it.
Zenith is
Yeah.
bigger, or costs more.
So what total would you want?
12,000 or something like that,
Yeah,
12,000?
for all the buildings.
And if you just wanted to do, I mean, and Jake said the same thing, we can break it down where we just do Sibley and Pioneer, and we can do Zenith on our own, or however we wanna do it, but
What's your recommendation?
my recommendation is I would like to have Jamar do it for, and then, this is just a 1-year contract, we can see how it goes. Because the nice thing is that they also let our guys shadow them, so our guys will develop their knowledge as well. So then even if it was, they just did the 2 apartment buildings, and eventually our guys could take over the Zenith ones, cause they're smaller and,
Makes sense.
And I've asked you this before, so everybody else hears this. We have the money to do this.
yes, and
We're okay with
then,
our funds.
yep, and this would be something that I would add on to our budget for next year, so the fee account, and that's what they would submit then to, HUD. It would go on to
So
that
moved.
budget.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion moves.
I think that's a good plan.
Okay, and then, the other one in that packet as well from Jamar was, they did a water sample, and they tested the water just to see what kind of sediment and stuff was in it. And, I'll talk to Jake more once they get the results. He recommended maybe over time putting in like a filter system into the heat so that the sediment stuff in the pipes quit wrecking the pumps. But we'll know more once he gets that water sample back, and then hopefully by next meeting I'll have an update on that, on what the water sample came back like in the heating system.
Sounds good.
And then I was going to put out bids to reseal and repaint the parking lot. Reseal it for sure, and then I was gonna talk to Harold and see if, the city could repaint, restripe the parking lots
Is
for
this
us.
spring?
It would be spring, but it is a long process to get the bids and do everything, so it's something that I need to start now. But it would be they would reseal Zenith, Sibley, Pioneer, and then paint those ones, and then figure out, I feel like the blacktop at the Vermillion Homes may be too far gone. We might have to take a look at that, but we can repaint what's down there.
Is there a possibility to get the bids, and if you don't like them, to not do it for a year?
Yeah,
We're
well, I think if we start now, and that we can get the bids, and then it'll give us time to look at them and before, and then if we don't like them, we don't have to commit to doing it now.
And the painting bill bid for Sibley?
Yeah, to try to get the hallways and areas painted, and that would kind of be the same thing. Put a bid out, see what it looks like, and then decide if it's in the budget or not to do it.
Okay, I don't think we need a motion.
And then I think that that's all that I have.
Any reports?
And then I would like to do a quick closed meeting after this, if that's okay.
Sure, sure. I have a question. What about Zenith, common area? I mean, furniture, TV, I mean, what about,
That is still locked up all the time.
that's what,
Still locked up all the time.
but do you have inquiries? People wanna gather there and,
Not really. We did do the cribbage night on Thursday nights. That went for like a month or two, and then they stopped doing that too. But no, there's some people that just want in there to get some books and stuff off the bookshelf.
people don't wanna
But-
people don't wanna socialize?
No.
Do they come here?
Yeah.
Do
Yep, and
you have
Sibley's-
other buildings come here to
I know
socialize?
definitely for the gazebo too, some people come and hang out with others from all over the places.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's friends all over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
How is the grill working out?
Good.
Good?
Yep.
Okay, just curious. Okay. Now, committee reports. Sibley, anyone committee activity at Sibley? Pioneer?
Okay,
Yeah.
we have $710.61 in the checking. And we're having a meeting on Thursday to see what's going on or what we can provide for our little gathering for Thanksgiving, Christmas dinner, which is on December 13th, I think it is.
Do you
Yeah.
combine them?
Yes,
You combine them, okay.
and other than that, everything's fine. We have
No complaints?
no complaints.
That's awesome.
At least for now. But we will be getting up a sheet for that within the next week or so.
For complaints?
No. For the dinner.
Check it.
And we sort of like to invite everybody that way. And we usually bring a dish, pies, cookies, whatever.
And is that extended to the other buildings or just for Pioneer?
Just Pioneer right now.
Pioneer. Anything else? Happy campers?
And we also have a movie night once a month. that's taken care of by Joyce.
How did the last one, did people come down for that?
I don't know how many.
Oh, 8?
That's during
And
that
for
meeting.
Halloween, Halloween was really good this year.
Oh,
We had
tell us.
32 kids.
2?
Nice.
Oh, 32.
Well, almost 32. I had 32 bags made up. I had 2 left over, so
Wow.
31
Ooh,
this year.
Do they just come into the common area?
They
don't go
By the door.
by the door.
They go where? Oh, you at the front door?
We had the table out there and we set
Very nice.
I get bags to fill. We get the candy through whoever wants to donate and extra, whatever.
Thank you so much for the donations, cash donation for that candy.
And the decoration.
Oh, yeah, decorations.
Okay. I have one addition. Is it possible to put the minutes of our meetings on the bulletin board? So any of the tenants that don't come to this meeting can read the minutes and hopefully they'll be interested in coming to our meetings. Okay. Anything else?
Yes, I'm a tenant at City of Ely, and I have a concern.
Can you come closer?
Yes, I have a concern at Sibley Manor that the front door has been, either the lock is broken or something going on with the lock that management is aware of and has been for months. Just a suggestion, because people's safety is at risk with it being unlocked all the time.
Kirsten, do you wanna?
Yeah,
Kristen?
we have the parts ordered, I'm just waiting for them to come in, and then, the guy will come in and install both locks and handicap openers on the 2 front doors. Yep, it took a while for him to get the parts in, they're not in yet, so just waiting for them to come in.
Is that supposed to be sometime this month or next month?
I'm not sure, it'll be as soon as he gets the parts in, I don't know how long it'll be.
Hopefully soon, but
Yep.
thank you for coming forward with your concern.
Well, a lot of people are concerned over there, they just feel like they say something and nothing gets done. I kind of disagree. I think you guys address things pretty
And we have,
timely,
yeah,
do what you can to, so I just wanted to express my gratitude too, for letting me have a place to live. I really appreciate it, whoever, is part of making that decision. Times are really tough, and at the end of the day, I think we're all glad we just have a place to go.
Yeah,
yes,
I agree.
thank you very much.
100%.
We appreciate your comments, thank you.
Thanks, Natalie.
Okay, well, we are now closing the meeting, and, our next meeting is, I think, December 10th, here at, Pioneer at 10 o'clock.
I won't be here.
Meeting adjourned, thank you.